everyone, and welcome to the Vernon Stewart SportsBeat show. I am Vernon Stewart, your host. For those of you who don't know me, I graduated from Farrell High School in Farrell, Pennsylvania in 1982, where I was a three-sport athlete: football, basketball, track and field. In football, I was a quarterback, all-state quarterback. Track and field, I specialized in the 400 meters, made all-state and honorable mention All-America. Got accepted a football scholarship to the University of Akron, where I played quarterback, and I studied technical education. I was a 4-year starter at University of Akron, and I also participated in indoor track and field. Had a tryout with the Pittsburgh Steelers in 1987, tryout with the Cincinnati Bengals in 1988 as a wide receiver. I'm a member of 2 Sports Hall of Fames in Pennsylvania. One I was inducted into in 2017, Farrell High School's Farrell High School Hall of Fame, and then I was inducted into Mercer County Hall of Fame in 2011, class of 2011. I'm currently living in Columbia, South Carolina. I'm 54 years old, 24 years military, both Army and Marine Corps. I retired in February 2014. I'm enjoying life and all that it has to offer. Okay, by the time this show airs, I'll be actually going to relax a little bit on the water and headed to the Bahamas and Miami. So I'm gonna take a little break from the action and do that. But I do enjoy doing this show every time, and I appreciate you listening in. Okay, on this show, we're going to cover a recap of NFL Week 15. It was a great week. Coming down to the playoff chase, scores going down a little bit, defense is playing better, turnovers are magnified. We're also going to go over the current NFL standings, and at the end of my show, as always, I do the predictions. Okay, at this moment, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back here on a Vernon Stewart Sports Beat show. Don't go away. We are back here on the Vernon Stewart Sports Beat show. I'm Vernon Stewart, your host, and right now we're going to cover the NFL Week 15 recap. Now, for the season, my record is 140 wins, 82 losses, and 2 ties. For NFL Week 15, I was happy just to hold serve. There were so many upsets. I actually was 8-8, which for me is terrible. But this week, I really didn't mind just holding serve because there were definitely some upsets. The first game was this Thursday night, and it was the Chargers at the Chiefs. I took the Chiefs, figured they had some momentum. They were at home, and that they would hold on, and there'd be a close one with the Chargers. It was a close one, but the Chargers nudged them out 29-28, so I lost that particular pick. Game 2 was Saturday. One of the 2 Saturday games, the Texans were at the Jets. I picked the Texans. I figured they had the momentum and had the better team, and they ended up pulling it out over the Jets 29-22. So I won that particular pick. Another Saturday game, which was played at 8:20 between the Browns and the Broncos. I picked the Browns. The Browns are gaining momentum. The quarterback is taking calculated risks, doing everything he can do to keep his team relevant. The defense is playing extremely well. So the Browns went on to the Broncos Stadium and knocked them off. So I won that particular pick. Cardinals at the Falcons. The Cardinals, are having a tough season. The Falcons are having a tough season, but in that dome, they're going to score points, and that they did. So the Falcons end up beating the Cardinals 40-14, so I won that particular pick. The next game was Titans at the Giants. I figured the Giants would give Saquon Barkley somewhere between 20, 25 carries, and he would carry the load for them, and they were at home. Um, their receiver was out. ODB was out, but I figured they would go to the ground game and lean on Saquon Barkley. They did not. The Titans, however, were smart enough to lean on their running back, and for 2 weeks consecutively, Derrick Henry has carried the mail for the Titans. I mean, he's put up almost a little shorter than 400 yards in the last 2 games. So the Titans beat the Giants 17-0. I ended up losing that pick. The Redskins at the Jaguars. The Jaguars and the Redskins are both having difficulty scoring. But I figured there would be a 3-point difference in the game and be in the Jaguars' favor. That it was not. Their offense is dismal, and their defense is starting to fade also. The Redskins ended up beating them 16-13, so I lost that particular pick. The Dolphins at the Vikings. The Vikings are still in the playoff hunt, as are the Dolphins, but the Vikings came out on fire. What they did was ran them over in the running game. It was no contest. Long runs. The Dolphins, gave them a couple turnovers as well. They're like Jekyll and Hyde. The Dolphins basically had their mini Super Bowl beating the Patriots, and it just never really focused to me on the Vikings. The Vikings put it on them 41-17, so I won that particular pick. Lions at the Bills. The Bills were at home. I figured this would be a 3 field goal or less game. I picked the Lions because I thought the Lions had a little bit more offensively than the Bills do, but the Bills played tough defense, and the offense did enough, just enough to beat the Lions 14-13, so I lost that particular pick. The Raiders at the Bengals. I knew the Raiders are an up and down team. The Bengals were at home. They kind of leaned on the running game and got a few key plays out of the passing game, and the Bengals were able to hold on and beat the Raiders 30-16. I won that particular pick. The Bucks at the Ravens. The Bucks can score points. The Ravens, have a great running game, but their passing game suspect. But their defense is outstanding. So the Ravens end up beating the Bucks 20-12, as I predicted that they would, and the Bucks season is pretty much at a tailspin at this point. The Packers at the Bears. The Bears defense is tough. Aaron Rodgers to me is not 100%. They have a lot of turmoil in that organization. There's a lot of issues going on. The Bears played some tough football and end up beating them 24-17. Their quarterback, Mitch Trubisky, came back this week and he handled business. So I won that particular pick. The Bears beat the Packers 24-17. The Seahawks at the 49ers. I picked the Seahawks because I figured they had to have it. They're trying to improve their seeding for the playoffs. But the 49ers, I mean, they're offensively, they're starting to really pick it up. They have a very young team offensively in the skill positions, but they're starting to pick it up. The quarterback's playing well. Tight ends playing well. They have a decent running game. Their defense gave up 23 points, which is quite a few at home, but the offense was able to score 26. So I lost that particular game. I thought the Seahawks were going to beat the 49ers. They did not. So I lost that particular pick. Patriots at the Steelers. I picked the Patriots. I'm a Steelers fan, but I'm a professional. So guess what? They weren't playing well defensively. And of all teams, especially if your secondary is not playing well defensively, you don't want to face the Patriots. Well, to the Steelers' credit, the secondary stood up, especially their whole defense in particular, but especially the secondary. The defense stepped up, played some tough football, had very little mistakes, and I think the only major mistake they made, Pittsburgh went down and scored, went up 7-0, had a blown coverage. The Patriots scored on about a 67, 68-yard pass play next series. After that, they could only muster a field goal. Big Ben threw 2 touchdown passes and also threw 2 interceptions. One interception really didn't hurt. Field goal kicker for the Steelers, again, is very inconsistent. He missed a key kick, but a superior performance by Jalen Samuels pulled the Steelers through. He had 19 carries for 142 yards. And I'm going to tell you, he was the difference in that game, both out of the backfield catching the ball and on quite a few runs, a lot of counter plays. James Washington, another rookie, gave them something off the bench finally. And Eli Rogers did a little bit of work in the slot. That's his first game that he was activated this season. He's been injured. The Steelers lost it. Steelers won the game. I had picked the Patriots, so I lost that particular pick. Eagles at the Rams. I picked the Rams, and I'm gonna tell you, the Eagles flat out outplayed them. They played tougher. They played harder. They played with more intensity. They played like they had more on the line, and I'm gonna tell you, they put it to the Rams, 30-23. I think their performance was more dominant than that score indicates. So I lost that particular pick. I picked the Rams. They lost to the Eagles, 30-23. That was the Sunday night game. The Monday night game was the Saints at the Panthers. Cam Newton probably should have never even played in that game. He toughed it out. His arm strength is definitely gone. He has some type of shoulder injury. The Saints didn't score nowhere near as many points as I thought they would. The Panthers' defense played extremely tough. I picked the Saints, and they actually won 12-9. But the Panthers probably going to shut Cam down for the rest of the season. He may be pending surgery from the looks of things. The Saints, I mean, they didn't score like they normally do. This is a divisional game. They're used to seeing each other. And 12 points was enough to do it. And it's all about getting that W. And that's what they did. Drew Brees didn't have a great passing game, but the Saints have a tremendous running game. The Panthers went to their running game as much as possible because Cam couldn't give much in the passing game. They were decently successful, but the Saints are one of the top run defenses in the league, and it's starting to look like that's true to form. Whereas in the beginning of the season, I was more or less leaning to them not being that great on defense, but by the mere fact of them getting big leads like they were earlier in the season, teams being behind and having to throw, I was thinking maybe their defense was not as against the run wasn't as tough as advertised. But they're proving that they are in fact pretty good against the run. Okay, I'm going to look at the current NFL standings. And as of right now in the NFC East, after this week, going into week 17, going into week 16, NFC East, Cowboys are 8-6. The Eagles are 7-7. The Redskins are 7-7, and the Giants are in last at 5-9. NFC North, the Bears are 10-4. The Vikings are 7-6. The Packers are 5-8. The Lions are 5-9. The NFC South, the Saints are 12-2, and they've clinched. The Panthers are 6-8. The Falcons are 5-9, and the Bucks are 5-9. In the NFC West, the Rams are fading a little bit, but they're still in first place by 3 games. They're 11-3. The Seahawks are 8-6. The 49ers are dismal 4-10. The Cardinals are dead last at 3-11. We're going to look at the NFC seedings. The number 1 seed are the Saints. The number 2 seed are the Rams. The number 3 seed are the Bears. The number 4 seed in the NFC